Hi everybody, it's Professor Lund here with another tutorial for you while we're doing remote learning. As you can see, we're here at one of my sections of Intro to Philosophy, and what I want to do is take you through three things. First, how to access the lesson modules and make sure that you're getting everything that you need to do inside those lesson modules. And then we'll take a brief look at the calendar, and then I want to remind you one final time that you have a syllabus and particularly the schedule to go through. So let's go to lesson modules. This is where you should spend most of your time when you're in the Blackboard and working on this class. So we'll come to lesson modules. We'll scroll down past the course objectives, which I think you've already read. There's the Start Here module. You can see that once modules are open, I leave them open for the whole semester just in case there's something back there that you need to go get or refamiliarize yourself with. So those things are still there for you. We finished module 1, and here we are at module 2. And most modules are going to have more than one weekly lesson in them. The first 2 weeks were unusual, but here we are, and we are spending 2 weeks covering informal logic. So you have 2 lessons inside this module. This introduction tells you everything we're doing over those 2 weeks, tells you some of the purposes of why we're doing them, and it tells you what readings you're going to do over that time. And it reminds you of all the major assignments that are going to happen inside that module. Then whenever you see this icon, this is an icon to open a module. So here we go, we click this. And we have our menu that tells us how to get places, and then we have our area to page through the modules. So this tells you the structure of this module. It contains 2 lessons, Module 2, Lesson 2, and Module 2, Lesson 3. And then it reminds you of the due dates, the weekly due dates for each, that Lesson 2 is due September 20th, and Lesson 3 is due September 27th, a week later. What do you do in these module pages? You start on the weekly lesson page, which is coming next, and then as you page through, you do the reading and viewing activities included in each lesson, and then final step is make sure that you've completed all the assignments included in the module. So we page on through. Here we are. This is Informal Logic Part 1, September 13th through 20th. This tells you what the lesson for the week is for that time period, and this was last week's. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to click ahead, because those of you watching it should be on this lesson if you watch it this week. So we come down to Module 2, Lesson 3. And it tells you that you're going to study informal logic in more detail. You're going to learn about non-demonstrative argument types. That's the second half of the reading. And you'll learn how to write a good philosophy essay, and you'll submit your first draft of essay number 1 to get you on track with your draft. Some objectives we have here: we want to avoid the logical mistake of circularity. We want to learn about reasoning by induction and abduction. We want to develop your philosophical reasoning skills. Yet again, we have a place that shows you what it is that you'll be reading and what assignments are coming. Notes like these can be important. The week after this, you're going to have a quiz and an essay due during the same week. And so trying to get your essay in good shape this week so that it's not so much work next week will be helpful. Then we page forward. And first you get a download of the reading if you need it. Many people no longer need a download of the reading. You instead would click over here to your textbook and go straight to the Norton e-reader to get to the right section, which is the section in Getting Started called Some Guidelines for Writing Philosophy Papers. All right, and next, here are my slides, and they load as a Nearpod. And in order to go to that lesson, you just put in your first name. Let's say your name is Vanessa, and click. And there are our slides. If you'd like to full screen them, you can, just like that. And I do not have these where I have a voice thread talking over them yet, but there they are for you. Okay. So you read, you do the slides, It's time for another pack back this week. Before you click to open it, make sure you look down here. You're going to ask one question about this week's reading. So remember that it's either about the second half of the Guide to Logic and Argumentation or about the guidelines for writing a philosophy paper, and you're going to respond to one classmate's questions. You click to launch and that will take you right to pack back. Here's something you haven't seen in this class before. You're going to upload your first draft of your essay here. Only you and myself can see it. This way I know that you've started writing your essay and that you have a file with some thoughts and some bullet points and ideally something like an outline, however you like to build your essays, that you can return to in order to start working on your final draft for next week. And if you have any question about how to use the journal tool in general, you click here and you get a Blackboard tutorial. I'll click to launch this really quickly. So right here it tells you the goals that you're trying to achieve by working on writing a philosophy essay, and you click create entry, and you'd probably call it draft for essay 1, and then you'd say I'm writing on topic B. I need to reread what is philosophy, why philosophy 5 views. I think, I don't know, Rosen gives the best description of philosophy. He says, quote, and then you add in your quote, and so forth, right? The more you can build in here to have your draft in good shape so that it's a very good roadmap for you to finalize your essay in another week, the better. So that's how we work through a lesson module. I'm going to save this entry as a draft. But as you can see, it just shows us where we were. We can go back to journals. If you use the back button here, it will always take you back to the journal, to the module page. So there we are. And then when you're ready to move on to the next module and the module is open, you click here to go on to the next module. All right, I'm going to go really quickly and show you the calendar. We're going to make sure it's populated with only this one class that we're doing the demo in, which is my 6151. Let's get rid of all the rest of that. We're almost there. Okay. And so these items are new because I thought they might help you give you some more structure, but it reminds you of when the module weeks run each week through. So we're here on the 21st today, and module number 2, lesson 2 started. And so all week you work on the items so that you get to where the pack back is turned in. And that journal is actually not showing, but that's okay because it's not graded, but you do want to turn that in. And then here's what's coming next is reading St. Thomas Aquinas and submitting your first essay. And then you'll see here that the essay number 1 is to do. You might notice there's no pack back. That's because I'm going to give you a break on the pack back for that week. The quiz due date should be showing there, so I'll make sure I fix that. But that's how you read there. And then I can't emphasize this one enough. When you come to syllabus and schedule, here's your reading schedule. When it downloads, make sure that you have this copy to read off of all the time. Will it open for us? Yes. So you can see here that here we are, week 4, September 21st, and as you've just seen, the module for that is Informal Logic Part 2 and preparing to write your philosophy papers. All right, have a good day.